Alright, so I am starting over. I'm taking everything off of this. I'm gonna put it onto a sport chassis, which is what I originally copied, but since we put that was an electric swapped sport and put a Rustler chassis on it, I now have this. So this is obviously thicker than that, and that's kind of weeble wobbly and probably not the best for strength or keeping this thing straight, because I drilled all the holes for the arms, so I'm sure they're not towed properly, like, at all. So hopefully this will help with stability and adding a little bit more weight to this thing, because the heavier this is, the better, because this thing still just wheelies, and it's gotta be heavy. I don't know how heavy this is, but I mean, it's a brick. So I'm gonna disassemble all this. Anyway, guys, the idea is to make this longer and heavier. So I think I'm gonna end up cutting this where these two standoffs are here, and then making holes on this where I want it, so I can make it as long as I want, and then bending this up. So that's the idea, kinda. You'll see what I'm talking about in a bit. Alright, you can see like how much longer this will be now. And I'll bend part of this up at some point. I don't know how much longer I want to make it, because I don't want the wheel sticking out too far behind the fender. But I mean, just a little bit farther back isn't going to kill anything. But if it's like way far back, I can actually flip these arms around and it'll scoot them forward, which wouldn't be a bad look. But probably won't do that, because I want it to actually be longer for stability reasons. Because this thing likes to, like, I don't know, it doesn't want to be straight. And I understand, like, drag cars are long, and longer trike would make more sense longer. Maybe even a little wider if I get some, like, really big wheel hexes. You can see basically the holes, because I spray painted and drilled them, don't exactly line up quite right. So this thing was always kind of jank, and with the engine only being mounted with, I think, like 4 of the bolts when I could have 6, it just too much torque, and it always twisted. And you can see how, like, bent up this is. I mean, I did bend it myself, but, like, it's twisted now. So we're gonna end up probably cutting this right behind, or a little bit farther behind the these dudes, and then I'll end up drilling holes in this, and then bending the front up. I may drill some more holes for these foot pegs. I may lose that weight down here. Don't know yet, but hopefully with some more room I can actually use full-size servos, possibly, which would really help. And then I also want to make fork, like actual working forks, not just stiff like on suspension. Anyway, I'm gonna put that on there now. So I'm running some ideas through my noggin. I think I'm gonna end up extending like the front part of it just by a hair too. I mean, not by much, but by enough. Maybe, I don't know. That way I don't really want to cut more of this. I mean, I can. Don't get me wrong. I could definitely cut more into it. But I'm already kind of like back here. So the only way to really extend it is to bring it forward just a tad. Also, I'm thinking about using part of this so I can set up a servo. Hopefully it wouldn't look too weird. Oh, it may be too weird. Because, like, yes, scrap that idea. I'm not using this. But I do want to put a full-size servo in there if I can. Anyway. So if you look at this, I got this lined up where that hole, not all lines up to where it used to be. You can see where this would bend up if I were to keep this like that. But thinking I might want to bring it out to this point here, and that'll give it like that extra just half an inch, maybe, wherever my tape measure went. I just had it. I'll give it like a, let's see, I'll make it 3/4 of an inch, maybe. Am I reading that right? I'm sorry. Yeah, about 3/4 of an inch. That doesn't make sense to me, but it'll bring it forward, which means I'll end up having to cut the front part of this, but it's not the end of the world. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. You can see this actually made it only a tad bit wider, or longer than it was before. So I don't think it'll be too much of a difference, but it'll be a little more room up in here. I don't know if I'll actually get full-size servos in this thing or not, but it was a nice idea. Unless I do something with this plastic and cut it up to a way where I can use this servo on this side, which I'm thinking about doing. I may do that, and then I will drill holes under here, and we can just bolt it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we are now. So now I want to drill and bolt some of these things together. Alright, this is the idea for version 2. Essentially, I take the body off. Boop. Okay, so we'll have the throttle servo over here now, with how this is mounted. And then the steering servo, I'll need more standoffs. Right now it's standing up on an air filter. The steering servo will stand here, and then I'll have full-size servos, which will be nice. Yeah. I know I'm just talking to myself, but that's that idea. So I need to buy some sort of standoffs, and then I'll cut and drill, and then how this servo is high enough, that'll be just a port for the middle here, and I won't put the standoffs here anymore. Or I don't know. Maybe I'll go through and drill more holes and put them in here. But anyway, she wants outside. Can you see outside for the camera? Outside. 2 circles. 2 circles. Alright, so here's where I am with this. I think I'm going to cut that out, and then this little sleeve or this slot, I'm going to leave the end of it, so it'll bolt up the top of the servo here. So basically I'm going to cut that out so the servo is there. And you can see how I've utilized parts of the other parts, like I'm trying to tie this all together. So I'm using this here for part of the standoff. Drill a hole here, bolt that down, and when you come over here, it's far enough back that I have room for the battery, but also shouldn't interfere with our rotary carb. So there's that, and hopefully when that's all done later, probably in the next video, it's nice and sturdy up here. I mean, I don't see it being flimsy anymore, but you never know, because this will put tension on it and try and keep it tight. That over here, once this is I drill holes and bolt it down, and it's not bolted right now. Because I may need to cut that part there to take a standoff all the way down to the chassis and cut a hole so I can bolt it up there. Or it may, I don't know if I trust this enough, but I might be able to drill a hole into this and then put a grub screw in it. But I don't know, that's where I am right now with it. Now that I got the standoffs for it, it's gonna be cool. Another thing I might run into is I may need to find a really small servo horn because it will touch the engine cooling head, but I'll figure it out and then we'll probably pop up the top of that. It should clear everything else here and be fine, if you know what I'm talking about. Alright. Peace. Right. We got it all in now this way. It does work. So, hopefully that'll be more reliable than a micro servo. And the gyro function works. Nice. So,